Hi, I'm Eric, and today we're here at Thurmont Primary School. We're going to speak with one of our colleagues who is a pioneer in education, serving as one of FCPS's first blended virtual school teachers. She's able to work with students from across the county and get them to express their creativity in unique ways in a virtual setting. Let's go and meet her. Hello. Again, we are here at Thurmont Primary School today with one of our art teachers, Leah Coates. And Leah is not just an art teacher, but she's one of our virtual art teachers, a trailblazer for us here in Frederick County Public Schools. Leah, thank you so much for allowing us a little bit of time here with you today.
Thank you. I'm so excited.
Yeah. So one of the questions we always ask our essential staff and just getting to know our colleagues a little bit better is, what did you do before you became an art teacher?
So I grew up here in Frederick County. I attended elementary, middle, and high school in Frederick County, graduated from Linganore. And then I went to Towson for my art education degree. And I actually got hired with Frederick County right out of college. So I didn't really have any career in between. But all the way through high school and college, I worked with kids. I always knew that I wanted to work with kids. So I've coached gymnastics, I was the director of summer camps, I did student service learning with actually Frederick County Public Schools, and then my student internship was at Whittier Elementary, which was one of the schools I ended up working at. So all really involved with youth, I guess you could say.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Art was one of my favorite subjects when I was in school. What led you toward becoming an art teacher?
So it's funny, I actually wanted to be a general classroom teacher when I was younger. So in high school, I signed up for child development, and then there was low enrollment in child development, so they dropped me into Art 1 instead. And I've always loved to draw since elementary school. I remember Dr. Cuppet submitted one of my artworks for the Youth Art Month show when I was younger. And my mom's actually an artist, so then I realized I followed art all the way through high school, and I was like, I'll just be an art teacher and combine both of the things that I love.
That's a nice example. Sometimes you're going in one path and things don't work out the way you think, and you're directed another path and it works out wonderfully.
Right.
So I have to ask this question, what's your favorite medium as an artist?
So I love dry medium. So I like to do colored pencil and oil pastel. Just the blending I think is really beautiful. As far as teaching, I really do like to teach paint because the kids love it so much and they get so excited. But for my own artwork, definitely colored pencil.
Okay. So you graduated from Frederick County Public Schools, went off and you became a teacher, an art teacher. How long have you been one of our colleagues here in Frederick County Public Schools?
10 years.
10 years.
It's my 10th year, yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
And so for the majority of that time period, you've taught in a traditional classroom.
Correct.
When did that begin to change?
So I actually just transitioned over into the virtual world in January of this year, in 2022. So I love teaching in general, but for me, part of being an educator is constantly growing because the world around us is changing so rapidly. And so I always want to learn and challenge myself in new ways. So when I saw the virtual position open up, I thought this was the perfect next step for me to challenge myself in my career.
And how are you finding it so far?
I love it. I do. I love it. It's definitely a challenge and a transition. Everything that I've been used to for the past 10 years, with the exception of the distance learning that we did for a while, has been so hands-on, face-to-face with kids, busy. And now I'm just busy in a different way. I love the kids. They're enthusiastic. They are tech-savvy, crazy tech-savvy. They blow me away, even my kindergartners. And one thing that I do love is that they don't need me to be there to push them. So in the classroom, I could go over to a student and say, hey, add this, or can you color a little more here? But a lot of my kids at home are doing that for themselves, which is awesome. And they're creating beautiful artwork.
Oftentimes in education, we talk about the core content areas, math, social studies, language arts, science. But we know that there are so many content areas within the academic program that we offer our students. Can you talk about why art and the arts are so important for our students?
Sure. I think that we get taken for granted a little bit sometimes, which is sad, but art is amazing because one, kids get to express their creativity in what they're making and use a different area of their brain than they're using when they're working on math and science. So one thing that I love about art is a child who might struggle in the core content areas might excel at art, or they might struggle in those core content areas because they're doodling on their paper and they can't focus. And then they come to art and they get to do what they love and they get to feel successful and express themselves in a way that might be different. And another thing about art that's amazing is that there's so many different ways to be successful. There is no one correct way to create an artwork. So you might have a child who is more expressive and abstract, and then you might have a child who creates these hyper-realistic artworks, and they both can receive an A or feel successful in the art classroom, which I think is great. It's all about boosting that confidence and making them feel like, I don't know, that like they're successful.
Thank you for sharing that. So Leah, what is it you're working on with your students right now?
So we are all over the place across grade levels. My kindergarten students are talking about geometric shapes. We're using those geometric shapes from math to create robots. My first grade students are investigating line types and using those to create monsters. I'm talking about a lot of different artists. So with second grade, we were talking about James Rizzi and his abstract cityscapes. My fourth graders just finished a lesson on Amedeo Modigliani, and they created abstract self-portraits. We've talked about Keith Haring in third grade recently and talked about movement and rhythm. And then my fifth graders are finishing up a Gustav Klimt landscape. So they are creating trees and using metallic tones and shapes to create their artwork.
Oh, that sounds awesome. You have a lot going on right now.
It is. It's a lot. I like to be busy and I like to jump into all different things. So I'm excited. My kids are really excited. We're going to move into a collage in fourth grade. We're talking about Romare Bearden. And we're going to be doing one of those interdisciplinary lessons with music and art. So I have them collecting magazines, wrapping paper, newspaper right now at home so that we can start to do a collage project.
Wonderful. What inspires me about Leah is not only her passion for teaching, but how she is always looking to better herself and continue growing as a teacher. She is a master art teacher, which means over the summer she works with newly hired art teachers to help prepare them for their first year of teaching. Leah was a trailblazer for our Vanguard program, as one of the first cohort of teachers to go through the program and the first art teacher to do so. She's on the leadership team for FCPS and Vision Visual Performing Arts and takes part in writing curriculum. All of this has helped her prepare for the new role she now serves in. In a short 10 years, Leah has continued to challenge herself for the betterment of our students. What Leah does on a daily basis is essential to Frederick County Public Schools. So what is your favorite aspect of teaching virtually?
I really like the flexibility. I feel like it's a little bit easier without having the hands-on materials prep in the classroom to make last-minute changes to what I want to do or update or let the kids take me into a different direction. I also find that it's a little bit easier to, like, if we need to hop back and review or move forward, to try to kind of keep the kids on the same pace, because I will have like extension lessons prepared. I can just drop a link into the chat, and some of my kids who are ahead can jump into that extension, and then I can take the time to use maybe a breakout room or something to work with a small group of students who may need to review or need my help. So that's really great. And like I said, I love working with the kids who are enthusiastic about, I don't know, taking the reins on their own learning from their house, and they just teach me something new every day.
So our students who are being taught virtually are still getting a robust, involved academic experience just like their peers in the classroom?
100%. Yes, they definitely are.
Anything else that you'd like to share with us that you haven't been able to?
Oh, gosh, I don't know. I love Frederick County. I feel like I have this awesome opportunity to work and help the youth in where I grew up, which is amazing to me. And I just feel like sometimes people underestimate our kids in many different ways, and they really do make my day, every day. And working with them is what makes my job so amazing.
Leah, thank you so much for allowing us a little bit of time with you today. We know you're busy, but it was great being able to speak with you and take a look at what you do to support our students each and every day, especially our students who are now engaged in a virtual academic program. You and our virtual teachers across the school system are essential members of the team, and we value what you do. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
It was nice being able to spend some time with Leah today. One of the things I was able to pick up as I watched her and listened to her is that our colleagues across the school system, no matter what they do, we're able to take a circumstance, adjust, and make sure that we're providing what's best for our students and for each other. And we saw that in the instruction that Leah provides her students. Although in a virtual setting, they're getting a robust and full experience in their art classroom. And we know the same is happening in classrooms virtually or traditionally each and every day here in Frederick County Public Schools. Well, we thank each of you for all the work that you do to ensure that Frederick County Public Schools is the best place to be. Until next time, everyone, please continue to take care of yourself, take care of each other, and be well.